These are the 25 biggest car brands in the world, and every single one of them failed a basic privacy test. Your connected vehicle is spying on you. It knows where you drive, how fast you brake, and in some cases, it's collecting data about your conversation. Then, it sells that information to insurance companies, data brokers, and anyone else willing to pay. Back in September 2023, the Mozilla Foundation released a major study that changed everything. After reviewing every major car brand on the market, researchers gave all 25 of them a failing grade, declaring cars the official worst category of products for privacy we have ever reviewed. Worse than smart speakers, worse than fitness trackers, worse than dating apps. Your car. Jen Coltrider, who runs Mozilla's Privacy Not Included program, stated that many people think of their car as a private space, somewhere to call your doctor, have a personal conversation with your kid on their way to school, cry your eyes out over a breakup. But that perception no longer matches reality. All new cars today are privacy nightmares on wheels. Here's what that actually means. 84% of the car brands Mozilla studied share your personal information with third parties. 76% reserve the right to sell it outright. The data they're collecting goes far beyond what you'd expect. We're talking precise geolocation tracked every 3 seconds, driving behavior, braking patterns, how fast you accelerate, but also biometric data, health information, and in Nissan's case, categories that include psychological trends, intelligence, and genetic data. 6 car companies say they can collect your genetic information. That's actually written into the privacy policy you agreed to when you bought the car. About 90% of new cars on the road today are doing this. Connected vehicles are expected to surpass 400 million worldwide in the coming years. Analysts estimate that by 2030, car data monetization could become a $750 billion industry. So where does all this data actually go? Meet LexisNexis and Verisk, two of the largest data brokers in the country. General Motors was quietly feeding detailed driving data from its OnStar Smart Driver program directly to these companies, which then packaged it and sold it to insurance companies. LexisNexis alone had collected information from over 10 million vehicles by 2022. Vehicle data hubs like Automotive and Wejo aggregate this information from dozens of manufacturers, creating massive databases that dwarf what any single automaker could collect. Then there's Allstate. The Texas Attorney General alleged that Allstate collected trillions of miles worth of location data from over 45 million consumers to build what they called the world's largest driving behavior database. They didn't just pull data from cars though. Allstate paid third-party app developers to embed tracking software into apps you probably have on your phone right now. Life 360, the family location app, Gas Buddy, the fuel price app, even My Radar, a weather app. All of them quietly feeding your driving data back to an insurance company. Meanwhile, Progressive and other insurers ask car owners to plug dongles directly into their vehicle's OBD port, the diagnostic connector that gives them real-time access to engine performance and driving patterns. The human cost of this became painfully clear when a 65-year-old man named Ken Dale saw his car insurance premium jump 21%. He had no idea why. When an insurance agent suggested he pull his LexisNexis consumer report, he discovered a 258-page document detailing 640 individual trips, their start and end times, distances driven, and every instance of hard braking or sharp acceleration. His Chevrolet Bolt had been reporting on him every single time he turned the key. He said it felt like a betrayal. They're taking information that I didn't realize was going to be shared and screwing with our insurance. This is where the consent question gets ugly. The automakers claim they have your consent, but here's how the consent actually works. A dealership salesperson enrolls you in OnStar during the vehicle onboarding process. They might earn a commission for doing so. GM told customers that failing to enroll could deactivate their vehicle's safety features. Buried in that enrollment was an agreement to collect and sell your data. Tesla warns that opting out of data collection may result in your vehicle suffering from reduced functionality, serious damage, or inoperability. Subaru's privacy policy states that passengers in the car have consented to data collection simply by being in the vehicle. Senator Ed Markey summed it up perfectly. You have no privacy. That's their privacy policy. The regulatory response has been slow, but is finally gaining momentum. While California's Consumer Privacy Act offers some protection to residents there, most states have no such safeguards. In August 2024, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton sued General Motors for collecting and selling the private driving data for over 1.5 million Texans. He called it what it was. Millions of American drivers wanted to buy a car, not a comprehensive surveillance system that unlawfully records information about every drive they take and sells their data to any company willing to pay for it. In January 2025, the FTC took action against GM and OnStar. By January 2026, the agency finalized a sweeping 20-year order. GM is now banned for 5 years from sharing geolocation and driving behavior data with consumer reporting agencies. They must obtain affirmative consent before collecting data. They must give consumers a way to disable location tracking. They must delete all previously retained driver data within 180 days. The FTC called it appropriate relief, given GM's egregious betrayal of consumers' trust. The Electronic Frontier Foundation called the settlement a good first step, but noted that federal safety regulators, like NHTSA, have yet to address data privacy comprehensively. Notably though, the settlement includes no financial penalty. There have been smaller victories too. Verisk has since stopped accepting driver data from car makers entirely. GM terminated its partnerships with LexisNexis and Verisk and killed the Smart Driver program. 89% of US automakers have implemented granular opt-out systems following FTC enforcement actions. But here's the uncomfortable truth. There are still no federal requirements mandating privacy protections for vehicle owners. What exists is a patchwork of state laws that car companies themselves describe as creating inconsistent or conflicting obligations. When Oregon passed a privacy law, allowing residents to request a list of every company their data is shared with, nearly 400 people filed those requests through Privacy for Cars. Not a single automaker responded with a list. Meanwhile, insurance costs have risen 71% in the last decade. The data pipeline between your car and your insurance company may be getting scrutinized, but the damage to millions of drivers is already done. Privacy attorney John Yanchunis stated that in the 21st century, we're where the money is. Information, data, that's the money. Companies harvest it, aggregate it, and make money off it. Your car was supposed to get you from point A to B. Instead, it became one of the most sophisticated surveillance devices in your life. One you pay tens of thousands of dollars for. One that reports on you every 3 seconds. And one that until very recently faced almost no consequences for doing so. The question going forward isn't whether your car is watching you. It is. The question is whether the laws will ever catch up to the technology that's already inside your garage. I hope you enjoyed this video, and it would mean the world to me if you liked the video and subscribed. I make videos about everything ranging from cyber criminals to government-backed hackers all the way into privacy incidents and tutorials. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.